Hey guys, welcome. This is Brad Krantz. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And we are looking at Monday Morning Leadership, being a late bloomer. Okay, I'm going to share on being a late bloomer, 7 tips that I've taken from a Talkspace article. I did a video on this probably a little over a year ago, but I'm revisiting this because I'm just about to head in a new direction for a career. So I'm going to be hitting this again next week and talk specifics on how I help use this as far as tips to make a decision on where I'm going. But, it turns out that I'm a little bit of a late bloomer. Maybe you are too. How would you feel if I told you this? We're late bloomers and we're not really late. Okay. We're just doing things on our own timeline. Okay. So think about that as I go forward. So 7 things here, guys. Number 1, let go of others' expectations, right? We're all kind of guilty of that. We're all held captive by that to a certain extent. But one of the most important tips for late bloomers is to shed expectations, whether from your own, your family, your community or society. Is I think we all know that society really places a huge burden on us in this area. But if just because what you want to do or where you're at doesn't align with society's expectations, who cares? Okay. Number 2, you want to stop comparing, right? The only one you should be comparing yourself to is you. Okay, when it comes down to other aspects of life, or actually I could say any aspect, whether or not you're a late bloomer, it's never good to compare yourself to others, right? It's easy to look at other people's lives, especially here on social media, and think, oh my gosh, I'm so behind. Guys, you may not be. Don't compare yourself. It's a certain way to make you feel insecure, and you don't want to do that. Okay, thirdly, you want to pause and reevaluate. And that's what I've taken some time to do here over the past few months after we've moved to Montana. But get real with yourself. Are you on the right path to achieving what you want to achieve? Are you happy in your job, your relationship, your living situation, whatever it might be? Or are you miserable? Are you unsatisfied? If you feel unhappy due to the circumstance you're in, it's time to kind of reevaluate and make changes, right? So I took 3 years off being retired before praying, and I won't say before, but while praying, then deciding and feeling that I had the energy and now the bandwidth to re-engage in a new quote unquote career. I'll talk more about that next week. But 4th, remember, times are changing. Okay, guys, back in the day, and I think we're still stuck to this, very traditional, right? To maybe, to go to school, go to high school, go to college and get a good job, get married and have children after you finish. That doesn't fit for everybody, right? And today, especially, in fact, I subscribe to 100% to Gary Vaynerchuk on this when he says it makes no sense why people 18, 22, 30, I'll even say 40 or 50, 61, like I am, that they have to have their life figured out when figuring everything out is a forever game. I think he's spot on with this. I've told my youngest daughter this too. Don't worry about having to have your life figured out in your early 30s, guys. I think that's a huge point. 5th, own your own timelines. Like I've talked about being accountable, and we own things we're accountable to, but it's time to stop feeling ashamed or embarrassed about being a late bloomer. I'm not, guys, right? Okay, I don't know, maybe 61 is the new 81. I don't know. But no 2 people are the same, are they? Everybody's timelines for school, marriage, kids, careers, it's all different. Each and every one of us has our own set of unique challenges that affect our timeline. But own who you are, own your timeline, and live life your own way. And that's where I've had the blessing to be able to live life on my own terms now, especially since we've moved to Montana. But own your own timeline, okay? Number 6, connect with other late bloomers. Guys, this might be tough, but in a world, it seems like everybody's obsessed with early achievement. Find yourself at least one other late bloomer to confide in. Okay. And I'll just say, if you can't find them through, internet, I'm not associated or involved in any internet forums in this respect, but if you can't find anyone in your real life circle of friends, or on the internet, reach out to me, guys. I'd love to hear your story and about you, again, being a late bloomer. I'd love to hear from you. So you reach out and connect with me. 7, savor your successes, right? When you do meet goals or your successes, reward yourself, acknowledge it, celebrate it. That's okay. Who cares if you took longer than some of your peers, right? You're only competing against yourself, right? You still accomplished something, and that's what matters, guys. Plus, your success will probably taste even sweeter because you've had to wait for it. So to close out here, remember, being a late bloomer isn't a bad thing, okay? Everybody's different. following their own path. If your path has a few more detours or a slower speed than somebody else's like my own, no worries. You will get there when the time is right. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Hearing about late bloomer. Join me next week, I guess on part 2, I'm going to call it. And as always, guys, have an awesome Monday. Bye-bye.